earlier, the main risk associated with a domestic bond is the risk of bankruptcy. Last class we have seen main risk associated with domestic bond is bankruptcy, that the amount may not be repaid back. Then straight fixed bonds pay interest annually. Straight fixed bonds pay interest annually. Which of the following are foreign bonds? Samurai bonds, bulldog bonds, Yankee bonds. All the above are foreign bonds. Okay, all the above are foreign bonds. Which of the following are euro bonds? Straight euro bond, floating rate bond, zero coupon bonds. All are euro bonds only. We have seen. All are euro bonds. Straight bonds, straight fixed bonds means rate of interest will be fixed. Okay, floating rate bonds means rate of interest will keep on changing. It will be linked to some base like LIBOR, etc. And zero coupon bonds we have seen. It is a type of bond where interest will not be paid. It will be issued at a discount but repaid at face value. So difference will automatically become the gain for the investor. See, dash are instrument issued by registered foreign institutional investors to overseas investors who wish to invest in Indian stock market without registering themselves with the market regulator. This is participatory notes. Participatory notes are instruments, financial instruments, which are issued by registered foreign institutional investors to overseas investors, but that investor do not wish to themselves register in the Indian stock market. Okay, so they can invest in Indian stock market without disclosing their identity. Such type of instruments are known as participatory notes. Actually, there is a lot of controversies related to participatory notes because it is issued by registered foreign institutional investor outside India to the investors who do not wish to register themselves in the stock market. So, identity of investor is not disclosed. Here, identity of investors are not disclosed. Okay, and without disclosing their identity, they can invest in Indian stock markets. Such type of notes are known as participatory notes. This is an important MCQ. In short, you can call it as P notes also, participatory notes. They are the instruments, financial instruments, that is investment made by investors outside India, but without disclosing their name in Indian stock market. And such instruments are issued by registered foreign institutional investors. Clear? See participatory notes. Let us have a brief discussion, understanding of this participatory notes. So participatory notes, commonly known as P notes or PNs, are instruments. See, these instruments are issued by registered foreign institutional investors, that is FII. Okay, they are the registered institution with SEBI. They are the foreign institutional investors who are registered with SEBI. So these participatory notes will be issued by such registered foreign institutional investors. Okay, to whom they will issue? To overseas investors. Okay, means those investors who are willing to invest in the Indian stock market, but at the same time they don't want to register themselves. They don't want to disclose their identity. Okay, so such type of investors will invest in P notes. So understand, P notes are issued by foreign institutional investors. So it is an institutional investor who will be registered with SEBI. They will issue P note to number of foreign investors. But these foreign investors will not be registered with SEBI. So it is not possible to know the identity of persons who are investing in P note. And through P note, they are indirectly investing in the Indian stock market. Understood? So if number of investors are there, A, B, C, D, E, like that, they will invest in the P note issued by FIA, but their identities, these individual identities will not be registered with the SEBI. That is the regulator for the stock market in India. Okay. So such type of instruments are known as P notes. So P notes are issued by registered foreign institutional investors, by registered portfolio investors to overseas investor who wish to be part of Indian stock market but without registering themselves directly. Now see, very important, participatory notes, also called as P notes, are offshore derivative instruments with Indian shares as underlying assets. Now this P note derives its value from Indian shares. Very important. That's why it is a derivative instrument. Okay. We know now derivatives are the instruments which does not have its own value, but it will derive its value from the some underlying assets. So this P note is a derivative instrument because this P note derives its value from the Indian shares. This P note does not have its own value. Okay, derivative contract means a contract instrument which does not have its own value, but it derives its value from some another thing. Such type of instruments or contract are known as derivative contract. Okay, so P note is a derivative instrument from whom it will derive its value. It will derive its value from the Indian shares. So for P note, Indian shares are the underlying assets. Okay, so these instruments are used for making investment in the stock markets, Indian stock markets. P notes are not used within the country. Obviously, they are issued outside India. So they are used outside India for making investment in shares listed in Indian stock market. So in India, P note will not be issued. P note will be issued only outside India. That's what is an offshore derivative contract instrument. Okay, that's why they are also called as offshore. Offshore means outside the country. That's why they are called as offshore derivative instruments. Clear this much, everybody? What is a P note? Understood, everybody? And P note is an offshore derivative contract instrument because it will derive its value from the Indian shares, which is the underlying asset for the P notes. Okay. See, use of participatory notes. Investing through P note is very simple and hence very popular among foreign institutional investors because overseas investors who are not registered with SEBI have to go through a lot of scrutiny, such as know your customer norms before investing in Indian share market. To avoid all these routine things, foreign investors take this route. So if they want to directly come to the Indian stock market, share market, they will have to go through a lot of procedures like know your customer norms, etc. Okay, and lot of scrutiny is involved. So to avoid all these things, they take the P note route because they need not register with themselves with the SEBI. Okay, foreign institutional investor is already registered. They will do the investment on behalf of these investors and they will give a P note to them. Okay, so that's why it is a simple investment route for foreign investors. Also, since the end beneficiary of these notes is not disclosed, many investors who want to remain anonymous use it. These instruments aid investors who do not want to register with SEBI and reveal their identities to take possession in the Indian market. Now see, simple terms. For example, let us understand there is a foreign institutional investor or a broker, let us say. They will buy the shares from the Indian stock market. Okay. And these institutional investors or brokers will issue P notes to number of foreign investors against these shares. Okay, now shares is purchased by FII. So shares will be with them, and for this shares they will issue P notes. So the ultimate persons who are investing is not disclosed in the Indian stock market. Okay, this is one of the biggest disadvantage of P note. Why that we'll understand. See, advantages we will discuss fastly. Simple. Anonymity is there. Just now we have seen that persons who are investing need not register with themselves or disclose their identity. So the anonymity will be maintained. It is beneficial to investor. Confidentiality will be there, obviously, and ease of trading will be there. Okay, all these are some of the advantages of the P note. But now, big disadvantage of P note is that unknown owner. Okay, persons who are actually investing in this Indian stock market now indirectly through the foreign broker or FIIs are not known to the Indian regulators. Okay, so who is actually investing in this participatory note? is not known, which is a big concern for the Indian regulators. Okay, because if persons from such countries invest hostile countries, so it will be having a disadvantage for the country. Then another important disadvantage is unaccounted money transfers. So a lot of black money can be routed through peanuts. Okay, because persons who are having black money will invest in the Indian stock market through FIS peanuts. Ultimately, their name is not going to be disclosed. So these two are the disadvantage of peanuts. One is the undisclosed identity of the owner. Who are the actual owners is not disclosed by peanut investment, and it will help in routing the unaccounted money to the country to the participatory note route. Okay. So say persons who are having black money in India, they can invest in peanut outside India and bring that money in India in the stock market. Understanding? No? So that's why it is alleged that lot of unaccounted money made its way to the country through participator notes. Okay, because foreign institutional investor is invested, ultimate owner's identity is not disclosed. So a lot of black money, unaccounted money can come to India through participatory notes. P note is also used as an instrument for money laundering. Okay, money laundering is use of illegal money into the financial channel. There is also an act known as Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Okay, so if there is any illegal money or proceeds of crime is used into proper channel, that is known as money laundering. Okay, this much understood, everybody? Yeah. Now, what is the SEBI regulation on participator notes? Let us understand. Now, these are the very big disadvantages which has prompted the regulators to take some steps against the participator note. Three important disadvantages we have seen. Ownership identity is not disclosed, which is a big concern. Second is the unaccounted money can be routed through peanuts, and it will also assist in money laundering. So the regulation of peanut issue moved into the limelight in 2007 when excessive issuance of peanuts with derivatives as underlying had been made. So in 2007, excessive issue of peanut was made. So SEBI prohibited fresh issuance of them. Okay, peanuts accounted for almost 56% of FII assets in June 2007. See the magnitude of issue. 56% of FII assets was in peanut only. From this only we can say that it is a misused instrument. Okay. So in 2017, SEBI prohibited FPIs from issuing such notes where the underlying asset is a derivative. Okay, so from 2017, SEBI has prohibited issuing P notes. Only one exception they have said, it can be issued where it is used as an hedging purpose. Otherwise, P note issue is prohibited with effect from 2017. In April 2017, SEBI had barred the resident Indians, NRIs, entities owned by them from making the investment through P notes. Okay, so we can say that SEBI has taken some strict steps for prohibiting the issues of P notes with effect from 2017. Okay, so this is the basic details about P notes. So everybody comfortable with the discussion on P notes? Okay, yeah. Now two terms are there that also you note down. FCCB means foreign currency convertible bond. FCC means foreign currency convertible bonds. Foreign currency convertible bonds, and FCEB means foreign currency exchange bonds, exchangeable bonds. It can come in MCQ. FCCB means foreign currency convertible bonds. FCEB means foreign currency exchange bonds. Written everybody? Okay. Okay, this MCQ is already we have discussed, I think so. Risk management. Okay. So any confusion till now?